Martha's Table is up to some great things these days, and here to talk about it is Ronda Candy, Executive Director. So good to see you.
You too, Donna. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, always my pleasure. So, you've taken over another space.
We have. We're very excited. It's unfortunate that we need the space, but it's actually attached to our existing building, so we're still on the corner of Princess and Nelson. So with the pandemic and the surge in demand for meals, we just couldn't return to indoor dining. We didn't have the capacity to seat people. So moving forward with this expansion, we're going to have more indoor space. So we're really looking forward to having breakfast, lunch, and dinner return to our programs indoors. We'll still continue our takeout meals and delivered meals, door-to-door meals, but we feel like this three-layered approach will meet the needs of the community more effectively.
It seems like in Kingston there's places to get food. Shelter is another story. It just seems that way. There's lots of
Yeah. If I was doing anything else, I would be interested in helping with shelter. But you know, this day shelter is how we think of our lounge facilities and dining facilities. It's a place to get out of the elements. It's a place to warm up or cool down, to meet and greet. And we all know how debilitating isolation can be. This pandemic has impacted all of us, and those with less options more so.
So going into it, absolutely, and that's so people can go in and get a meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Correct. Yeah.
And the cost for going in and getting a meal is
still nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not charging, and breakfast will be as like a continental style. So we're not frying bacon or eggs. We're going to have bagels and yogurt and some fruits and oatmeal and things like that. Lunch will be something easy to prepare and serve. So chilies or soups or stews, sandwiches. And then with our evening meal will be, as we're serving now in the middle of the day, it could be anything from roast beef and mashed potatoes to butter chicken, to salads and deli meats and so on. So a wide variety. So very exciting times. And I think with this space, it'll give us that capacity to meet all of those needs. People have preferences, and we're trying to address that in their space.
How do you deal with, some people have legitimate allergies. It isn't just preferences, it's allergies and lactose intolerant and all kinds of things. How do you deal with that with so many people coming through?
Well, surprisingly, has to date has not been a challenge. Participants, guests, they let us know when they would come in to dine what their needs are. And for example, if we did butter chicken, which has cream in it, we would find a way to have, if we're having it with rice or pasta, depending, we would just put another sauce on it for them. Okay. So we try to have a similar meal, and when that's just not possible, we'll have a backup. We'll have an alternative. We also offer vegetarian meals, and we will continue to do so. So we always have that as an option. We don't necessarily guarantee vegan, but vegetarian is important, and sometimes it does become a vegan meal.
Right. So, right. And you've stumbled across something else that we see a whole lot of, and in a couple of weeks we're going to be seeing a whole lot more, but maybe we shouldn't be cursing the dandelion.
Right. We've battled it for years, decades, centuries, I'm sure.
Now you're saying embrace it.
Love the dandelion. It's the bee's first food on top of everything else, but I really think I'm calling it the new superfood, because I think after doing some research, it's got a lot of incredible ingredients that can have such a positive impact on us. I have my list here.
You go ahead and read it.
Because it's a long list. Nutrients include vitamins A, C, K, calcium, potassium. It has properties, antioxidants. It reduces inflammation, helps reduce blood pressure, controls blood sugar, helps lower cholesterol, all in this yellow, innocent looking dandelion. And there's so many ways you can use it.
Well, I was going to say, what do I do? Go out there and gnaw on one on my lawn, or what? You know, like what? How does this work? What am I supposed to do with these things?
You certainly could, but most people will saute it. You can put like even a salad dressing on it. You could, you know, put onions and cucumbers or anything. You could just make it like a chunky tossed salad or a sauteed greens like you would with a spinach, only use dandelion. I always add garlic to, to my
everything,
dandelion.
garlic and chocolate. Everything's improved with garlic and chocolate.
Right, right. So I have a couple of recipes that I brought to share with you. And
yes.
one is make a pesto with the dandelion greens and incorporate pumpkin seeds. So talk about a superfood.
Wow, yeah.
And it's something that should be accessible for everyone. So yeah, so I think it's something that we should all try.
Yeah. So tell me how to do that. I like pesto and
right.
Yeah. So tell me how to do that.
Well, it's just a matter of you don't use the flowers in this recipe. It's the greens and pesto typically has pine nuts, so they're using the pumpkin seeds instead, and it has garlic and so on. And just puree it all. You don't need a food processor, although it will certainly make it a lot easier.
Okay, and you know, probably better than the stuff I buy in a jar, just what I do.
And I mean, it does have a unique taste. You know, where there's no getting around the flavor of a dandelion. It's something that, if you're going to try it, be ready, be prepared. It's a little bitter, but stick with it. It's really nutritious, and it's, like we said, embrace the dandelion. It's everywhere.
So even the flowers you can use.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I remember my father making a beverage from dandelions.
A dandelion wine. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
so multiple purpose.
Wow. That is. That's fascinating, and
Yeah.
there sure are a lot of them. and if you don't have enough in your own, just go to a public park. You'll find loads of dandelions.
Rinse well.
Rinse well, that's right. Yeah, you don't know who's been walking their dog and all that. Yeah, rinse it
Yeah.
well. Oh my gosh, that is such a good idea. Now, Martha's can always use donations, right?
Absolutely.
So, if somebody wants to donate to Martha's Table, what sort of things can they donate?
We are always happy to accept foods. Doesn't have to be non-perishable. If you wanted to bring in a bag of potatoes or carrots or celery, it could be a canned tuna, beans, pasta sauce, pasta. People can donate prepared foods, although we follow restrictions required, so it has to be prepared in a commercial kitchen. All food has to be held and handled properly, so if it's meant to be cold, keep it cold, and so on.
Right.
But we also, donations of funding are welcome.
Cold cash, nothing like it.
We can certainly buy product in bulk and sometimes get a discount.
Right.
But it all comes together and it works. I like to call it Martha's Magic. It's, you know, if somebody donates turkeys, we may have to buy a few to supplement the number so we have enough for a meal. But it all comes together between the funding of cash and food. So
You've been at it for a long time. And what, 25 years?
yes,
something?
1997. In January, we opened our doors, and the first meal, it was before I was at Martha's, but we served four meals on day one. So word spread quickly, and it became a popular resource. There's so many reasons why people need a prepared meal. It's not just funding or limited finances, I should say. There's more to it than that.
It's not eating alone.
Not eating alone
is part of it. I just
physically preparing the meal. You know, there's a lot of steps when some days you're just struggling to get up and get going, right? So there's a lot of reasons, but we're happy to be there to meet the needs, and we hope that we're not needed one day.
Wouldn't that be great if you had to close your doors?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And then we won't have you in here anymore. But in the meantime, come back again.
Thank you. Thank you.